disengaged and already lost people. So you need to be careful about not chain feeding into EG if they're on the hunt.
Is there any particular type of strat or hero that you'd like to see come out for the side of OG? Because we did get to see the Amar Timber, which looked very powerful. We watched him absolutely shred heroes earlier on in that early to mid game, but wasn't quite enough with the coordination with the rest of the team. And also, Yuragi just had a really rough time trying to shut down that Razor. What would you like to see this time from the side of OG?
I mean, I'm always down for seeing a little bit more Invoker action. We have BZM here. Why not get all the Invoker players to play it in one day here as well? He performed, of course, on his Void Spirit that really enjoys to play, but BCM plays a very aggressive Invoker that likes to take part of a lot of fights early on, which is always exciting to watch. And I think the skirmishes were so good in the last game. I just want to see these teams fight more.
Well, it looks like the teams are getting ready.
Yeah.
And we should have a draft very, very soon. I like how we're just zoomed in on Crit over here, looking very pensive.
Yeah. Fly was saying that they, as they were getting ready, some of the players weren't there yet in the lobby. Apparently they, I think it was Nightwolf forgot his badge, so he didn't have his badge on the way back in, but they solved it. He got back in the playing area.
Good that you know that security is good and tight. Protect our players over here. Let them focus up. This is, after all, the international, the biggest stakes on the line. And unlike former group stages, this is an elimination group stage. We will be saying goodbye to 2 teams during the course of this.
Yeah, and as we're here watching these teams, it just feels in my mind like there's no way that either EG or OG are going to be like one of those 2 teams in EG. They're definitely looking out to make a great statement on the first game or first day of playing here. They took a 2-0 earlier against Soniqs. They took a 2-0 against LGD, and here they are playing against OG and 1 game up already.
My favorite is, like, you know, you're in a whole bunch of discords, right? People are talking about the games, and in one of the discords I just see, in what universe does EG 2-0 PSG.LGD? It was a very big shock, I think, for a lot of people, because, you know, we've seen Evil Geniuses. They've had a lot of difficulties. We think about, like, the Stockholm Major, and they went home quite early. There was a lot of just, you know, speculation, like, oh, you know, are they going to end up, you know, disbanding? Are they going to end up changing players? And then they did end up picking up Fly, and it seems that having a very strong voice to do the captaining seems to be helping them out quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that's a big help. And while we talk a lot about EG, I also want to say that OG, I mean, going into this, they were also 2-0. They took down the Gaimin Gladiators, and they won against BetBoom Esports 2-0. So if they can tie here against EG, we were going to have a tie for first place so far in the group stage. So they have all the reason to want to bring this back here.
Oh, big stompy boy, Primal Beast makes it through the draft this time. I think this is the first time we've been able to see this hero. Usually it's banned out fairly early along with the Marcy. So Marcy's been removed, the Nyx Assassin also having a lot of respect. We've seen an uptick on that hero recently. And we've talked about this in multiple games now where, you know, one hero looks very, very strong, and then that team that won with the hero bans it, so we won't be seeing the Razor. It is banned by Evil Geniuses. But you get your wish. You get your wish, Waga.
I do. They must have heard me. I appreciate that. Thank you, OG. And honestly, I'm a little bit happy seeing Primal Beast as well. He has, like you said, been banned the entire day, at least for the games that you and I have been following. So I'm okay to watch him a little bit now as well. I know he has made appearances on the other streams and perhaps here on the A stream as well before we joined here. But I'm kind of happy to see a game of Primal Beast again. I'm not done with this here. Let's keep seeing him smashing stuff.
I was laughing too because there was a post, and I forget which team that was going up against Tundra. But it was the Primal Beast mid, and it was the 9 Tusk over the mid lane, and it was just like one of those things like, wait, which heroes went mid? Seeing some very interesting heroes kind of moving around the board and on the map, and that is one thing that I have really enjoyed about Dota with the most recent patches is the flexibility of these heroes and how you're able to play them in just, you know, multiple positions, keeping your enemies guessing.
Yeah, we see EG here coming out with the Broodmother as the second pick, reacting to the Invoker and the Dark Willow. Hero that has made her nasty appearance in quite a few of our games. I mean, I've seen so much Primal Beast, and I say I still want to see more of him. I have seen hardly any Broodmother, to be honest, and I'm already like, please. I have too much trauma when it comes to Brood, but Brood early on reveal here gives at least some information for our OG how they want to lane against it, but I think Broodmother is strong enough right now that she can be picked this early on. Her win rate overall has been great in high-level pubs, in pro-level pub games. She has been dominating a lot, and also in competitive games. We just see her have big impact even when she's revealed early.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, is that, you know, it feels like a very early Broodmother pick. It still allows for quite a few heroes or counters to be addressed. The most common one that we've seen, we saw a Legion Commander picked up at one point. Matumba Man was playing it, did not have great success with it, but we've also seen, I believe, Collapse picked up the Mars against the Broodmother and was very, very successful. So
yeah, I also think a hero that could be picked against Broodmother that would do rather well would be the Ursa, actually. We saw Ursa in last game. I think that hero can also be very good at countering out the Broodmother, because she's different to counter now, right? The liquid approach with the Legion Commander, yeah, it's good against the Spider Babies, you can nuke them. But winning against Brood is about winning the lane against her, in my opinion. If you have a good start to the game, or rather, if Brood has a bad start to the game, then it's very hard for her to make a comeback into it. And heroes like Ursa, who could just bully her a bit in the laning stage, are hard to come by.
Alright, the Snapfire does get picked up for the side of OG. We saw how potent that hero can be, and having those cookie saves is always very, very nice. Team fight also excellent. A lot of range coming out from the side of OG. I wouldn't be surprised to see some big tanky boys coming out soon in their draft going forward.
Yeah, they also have a big threat that they could be picking up Void now. Faceless Void is probably on EG's mind a bit, because when you see Invoker and you see Snapfire, and even Dark Willow with the possibility of Terrorize after Chronosphere, there's so much synergy here. It feels like that hero might be priority. EG go back for the Undying, who's somehow made his way all the way to the second pick phase here. And they pick up the Hoodwink as well.
This is an interesting draft coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses right now.
Yeah, it's looking a bit all over the place, but a lot of these heroes are, you know, simply just so strong in this patch. It feels like they're picking all the good stuff. I hope that these heroes will be able to function well together enough, because for me, I'm looking at the 4 heroes EG has, and it's not the easiest to say that they synergize that well, but they are all really strong heroes currently. Whereas OG's approach, not necessarily the highest rated heroes, but I see more easy situations to play these abilities into each other. Not to say that EG have no synergy, but it's a bit more complicated to play it out. Broodmother usually wants to chill and kind of pressure on the side lane. Undying kind of enjoys, first of all, winning laning stage hard, and then he wants to go and take big team fights with his Tombstone. But at the same time, they can function to just control areas really well, and perhaps that's an important thing, because last game we saw Roshan being so crucial. EG's repeated takes on the Roshan were definitely a big part of their success.
Alright, and we get the Troll picked up now for the side of OG. It's going to give them some nice physical damage, it's going to give them that nice attack speed.
I think that's a great pick. I actually, looking at what EG are playing here, I think Troll fits great. He can be somewhat of a lane bully for a carry hero, and his attack speed will be great for killing off stuff like the Tombstone as well. And I think even just having the access to an easy slow, just throwing out the axes, can be a nice way to either catch people or mitigate like Primal Beast damage output during trample. I see a lot of utility in this Troll pick here.
Yeah, I was curious too, like, how do you really lane against this Primal Beast? Because it feels very, very strong recently. And then paired up with something like a Hoodwink, who's going to be able to have, you know, lockdown, slows, things that Primal Beast really enjoys. What's the best way to play into this?
I'm not sure what's going to be the best way or how they want to approach it, but one weakness of Troll in this game could be that he can get kited. So usually we see Troll struggle with similar things that Ursa struggles with. Ursa solves it down the road when he gets his Abyssal and his Blink, but Troll usually doesn't really want to go for a Blink Dagger until very late into game. So maybe we're going to see heavy Force Staff usage again here, this time on the side of on EG.
It looks like, you know, it's really kind of funny because there was this whole meme, right, that it was like first pick Storm half the time for Abed every single game for EG, and now he's getting, you know, this nice priority where he, you know, gets to be towards the last bit. They don't have to worry about banning out the Storm. He's got a little bit more to work with. There is the option, of course, that you know, this Primal Beast could be put in a different position. I don't know how likely that is with Evil Geniuses. I would feel like it's most likely going in the offlane because that's what the trend is currently.
I mean, I think this looks quite likely to me, like they want to play a POS 2 Primal Beast, but they have options open to a degree here. But looks like it could be very well just Primal Beast going mid. Against Invoker should be a pretty easy lane with your massive damage. So we'll see what they want to ban out on the side of EG. What they're fearful of coming out from OG, of course. Amar giving himself the last pick here. Been banned out pretty heavily. His Timbersaw is gone, his Razor is gone, his Tide is gone, his Centaur and his Slardar. Slardar hero he enjoys a lot too.
There is still a Mars, which I think, Amar's Amar. There's still that option, which functions, you know, could function very similar to something like a Chronosphere with the Cataclysm. Also gives you a solution with dealing with some of those spider babies when they eventually come online. Not, of course, you know, too effective early on because of the way that Brood is played, but...
Could see them pull back an old classic as well with like Underlord or something for Amar. But yeah, he seems seems happy still. All smiles on the side of OG there. So we see the player cams. He's waving his paper around. Let me see the strats. Show me the strats.
Yeah, he looks very happy. So it seems like OG's feeling confident this game. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, EG of course gonna have to reveal here. You're playing into a troll. Many carries that are super happy playing against the troll in a man fight scenario. Okay, so they picked the SF, a hero that can sit back a little bit, and the most immediate snap pick ever on the Mars after the SF. Yeah, so very classic stuff here from the side of OG. They have the Mars with Dark Willow Fear combo and the Snapfire ulti combo. They just have great stuff to dump into it. And EG, I like the idea to go for SF here because anything that gets too close would probably struggle against the troll in a man fight.
Yeah, and it's an Arteezy Shadow Fiend. Like, thinking back in the day when Arteezy used to go mid to, like, he knows this hero inside and out. It feels like a very strange just mishmash when you look over at the side of Evil Genius's draft, right? You do have the Nightfall is confirmed he's going to be playing the Broodmother. It's going to be the position 2 Primal Beast like you thought, Waga. But there's a lot of just comfort picks coming out too. Crit on the Hoodwink. How do you feel about this draft? Who do you think has the edge here?
I think I would give the overall edge to OG, but I'm not sure about the mid matchup, how it goes. I haven't seen the Invoker versus Primal Beast, but in my head, that sounds like a very tough lane to play out. Also, SF is a very strong safe laner now against a melee hero like Mars. I think he can do rather well. So I'm gonna give a little bit of an edge over to EG here, just based on the hero matchups and laning stage. I think that can set the tone for the game.
Do you think it's going to be like a snowbally effect over the side from one team or the other, or do you think this is going to be pretty evenly matched up?
Yeah, I just think that EG, they might be able to get themselves in such a favorable position that it's hard for OG to come back. We've seen a few times as we head into the game here that if you have a strong laning stage, it can be difficult to recover from, especially earlier today. In some of the first matchups we had, we saw RNG with just, you know, very strong last hitting and then getting an easy mid game because of it. Both teams.
Immediately meeting each other here in this mid lane. Looking to put the vision down.
Yeah, they get the wards planted immediately on OG and just charged in, and that made it difficult for Abed to drop a ward of his own. He still has one on the Primal Beast. He's gonna drop it in the end, over on the side for the top rune. But that wasn't where he was headed immediately, so I think he wanted to plant a ward, perhaps even on the enemy high ground. Not gonna get away with that, though.
Proper skacks.
See over in the bottom portion of the map, Misha and Yoragi just kind of making their way over, making sure they don't get any other wards over here on the side, and will rejoin towards this spot. But there is, of course, multiple heroes of evil geniuses.
Yeah, Amar
Already
confident
parked.
top, but not that confident. He's gonna back out in the end, but it looks like Taiga sneaking around gets the steal. So we're still gonna see a fair trade here, 2 for 2 runes, as Taiga made that little move around.
Again, have eyes over on this mid lane to watch Abed face off with the BZM Invoker. Just to see how it plays out, because again...
Yeah, so Exort Invoker, I think it's necessary here. A lot of the times, I think BCM loves playing his Quas Wex, but in this matchup, I can't imagine playing Quas Wex into Primal Beast. He doesn't need mana that badly, and if you don't have the Exort for damage, I think you just don't get to see us at all.
Bottom lane, Harass is going to be pretty strong on Nightfall. You already see just throwing out the axes, doing a decent amount. And top lane Amar though, sitting a little
He's in
bit
trouble.
low, has to be careful. Yeah, needs to get maybe one more hit, and there it is. There's going to be the first blood. So we're seeing the power of that Shadow Fiend safe lane.
Yeah, that's slow. When the Shadow Ray stacks up, it is so easy to get caught out of position. It's not like Amar is a slouch on the off lane, but it is difficult to stay safe and still be able to get close enough to get farm. And Arteezy pulled back his creeps, connected them on the top again. Of course, the pull was made by Taiga meanwhile.
You can see this mid lane just every time, you know, Abed has this very powerful trample. Did end up taking a couple hits from that tower during that time. Top lane though, pressure being placed on Arteezy. Not quite being able to finish him off just yet. I think if he had a level 2, perhaps that's a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, he could maybe have committed for more, but Arteezy is going to be just fine sitting under the tower for now, but has to be worse. Mars getting close. Wrapping around though is flying.
Very much a comfort hero for Amar, so he knows this hero inside and out.
Yeah, it's of course the same can be said for both him and Invoker, but Invoker getting caught out a little bit here. BZM trample.
Yeah, this feels a little scary here for him because he's not going to be able to rely on that tower. Can they get the... Nope, we'll have the Fairy Fire to keep Invoker alive, but feeling a little bit tight here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I don't know how he managed to find the idea to go into the river, but I think against Primal Beast, you want to be as far away from the river as possible. If you are far away from your towers, you are in grave danger against the trample.
Has been killed.
A bit of a courier snipe here. Flying loses his courier.
Attempted charge in on the Invoker by Abed, but not going to be able to kill him here. He just gets the hold to stop him from trampling all over him.
Pretty smart play there. Looks like Abed is going to go for a bit of a dive. He's going to just duck behind, hang out in the trees for a moment. Does have Onslaught.
Yeah, he's chasing
For
actually.
the trample. That cold snap though is pretty potent, as Abed looking like he might end up falling. Although Taiga with the return, nicely done, will be able to keep BZM alive.
Yeah, and importantly, BZM has defeated Abed in a gauntlet challenge. So
Very good.
yeah, that is the
Top, bottom lane, these axes coming into play. Seeing a little bit more pressure being placed over onto Nightfall, but again, does have a salve, will be able to heal up, and Crit's immediate reaction with the bushwhack to slow down both the heroes on the side of OG and protect Nightfall is very timely indeed.
Yeah, Misha is doing a good job trying to protect his troll from too much harassment here, but feels like they're not really winning this lane the way that I think they wanted to. Broodmother still staying, you know, even in CS, she even has more creeps to cash in on still, so technically ahead of the troll in farm. And I think they wanted this lane to go even better than it's going right now.
Some pressure, nice cookie hop from Misha though. Dodge away, turn back around over onto Nightfall.
Yeah.
And just constant just poking in this bottom lane without any full committal yet.
Top, a little bit of fighting going on for the neutral creeps here. And another courier loses its life. Taiga going with the snipe.
I don't think Flash should be allowed to have couriers at this point. They keep dying. This is the second time he lost it.
An investigation here. Is he taking care of them properly?
Very important. Gotta make sure that your couriers are well taken care of.
First move coming down bottom. Doesn't even need it.
Gosh.
They're gonna get a kill just on crit alone there. But they're still coming in with Abed as well in his Primal Beast. So Yuragi, you're in trouble.
Yes, this is looking very scary for him. The onslaught charging on in with the trample. And a nice bushwhack will keep the troll within the vicinity for Abed to get the kill. He's only sitting at level 5 right now. We haven't seen the full potential out just yet.
Yeah, he gets the kill, and that was also him not having boots ready yet as well, as he just got them delivered. Of course, with boots, his trample is going to do even more damage, more speed. He's going to go and take the Bounty Rune here as well on his way back, but for now, I think very happy with how mid lane went. I was expecting this Invoker to struggle more, but the overcommitment earlier has sort of allowed Invoker to take over mid. 26 and 11 against 23 and 7.
Do you manage to grab up the Invis Rune on top? Taiga now. There's the Pulverize coming out from Abed. He's just gonna smack him around a little bit. And I don't think they have enough damage to finish him off, so we'll be able to just teleport away.
Just TP out, completely safe, no more disables. Cooldown was barely off by a few seconds there on Trample, where he could have gone that kill. Bottom lane, it seems like Broodmother is being left alone a little bit now, as Crit is making his move towards mid. Thinking maybe he can make a catch around Primal Beast, but he was scouted by a ward.
Taiga hanging out nearby, both of them having the vision over to the side. I'd be curious to see if they try to make a play on Nightfall, but with Crit already rotating in, I don't think they're gonna go for it, especially with the way being shoved as it is.
It's hard to kill Broodmother when she's this far back under her own like webs and close to her tower. Even if they have 3 heroes around, it would be difficult to bring her back. You would need something like Disruptor to get the glimpse back for that play. So he's staying safe, and right now OG are just hanging around with a few heroes.
They're teleporting Abed down though. He's gonna charge forward over onto Yuragi. Gets the stomp off. Has that upward, needs a little bit more damage. They've got the Pulverize. Nice cancel though coming out from Misha with the cookie. He's not out of the woods just yet though. Yuragi does get slapped down by Abed. And now Misha running from Nightfall. They want this kill. They're not gonna give it up. A little bit of a scatter blast toss back, but not gonna matter. Ends up dying. Ends up losing Yuragi's courier too.
Yeah, attempted Sunstrike. Not gonna be able to get the kill, but he does do some damage to mid tower before Fly comes in here and protects. Good rotation there by Abed on his Primal Beast. He didn't get the best laning stage, but his rotations have been very fruitful so far.
And already you can see Misha teleporting to the mid lane. They realized that Abed is smoked up. They saw that the rune did disappear. Do manage to find Taiga. There'll be the stomping around in circles from Abed. Those are some big boots.
That's so much damage with the face boots, and that's before he pops either Uproar or double damage. He also has the DD rune, which would enable him to do even more this trample.
So I've seen a lot of just rotation and movement coming out from Abed on this Primal Beast. It's been pretty quiet in the top lane though. Looks like Arteezy's enjoying this time farming. He's currently sitting at the top of the net worth.
Arteezy enjoying farming? I don't know. Seems kind of fishy to me. Is it really Arteezy? Yeah, of course, he's building towards that Dragonlance with Power Treads as his first item. Gonna go into a real right-click SF, and overall the farm has been going slightly better for EG here, as there's a minor advantage in the laning stage. We have a pause, settings, and go. Ready immediately.
And they do that, baby.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Picking
attack.
out the positioning of Abed. They're bringing many heroes over towards this side too. On the side of OG.
Yeah, they look like they want to fight. Now with Trample on cooldown, be a little bit careful on Abed. Might get caught out deep here.
Yeah, a little surprised about this. So they'll get the bushwhack off, and Yuragi just immediately dies. The onslaught out over past Misha, but now Fly is pretty deep over here. Nightfall, though, jumping in. Misha will end up becoming spiders. As the trample comes out again from Abed. In a good position. Amar does teleport in. He does have the arena. They want to try to go for that combination. Still only level 4 in the Dark Willow, though, for the time being.
Yeah, he wants to join for a fight on Amar because he's not having fantastic time on top lane against the SF, but not gonna get anything for TPing down here. Now has to run back top again, try and get something over there. But this is just going all EG kills so far, 8 kills to 1. I think OG need to catch
Fly's
SF.
got them eaten. This is a meaner, faster, scarier evil geniuses than what we have seen in the past.
Yeah, and they're making a lot of interesting moves too, like bringing the Broodmother over to mid lane there, before she had even taken the bottom tier 1 tower. Usually we see people kind of follow just a script on Broodmother. You take the tower, then you take over the jungle, but he joined for that fight on mid lane before taking the tier 1 bottom. Cool to see that they're open to making these moves and not just set in their ways. Makes them a little bit unpredictable.
Well, I think that also is what's giving them the edge, is that, you know, the best teams set themselves this meta. They don't necessarily follow it, so.
This is what I love about Primal Beast. When you play it, it's just click your ulti on literally anything. You see a creep that you don't like, click your ulti on it. You want to farm a little bit faster? Ulti. Kill someone? Ulti. It's just such a low cooldown ability.
They don't necessarily follow it, so.
This is what I love about Primal Beast. When you play it, it's just click your ulti on literally anything. You see a creep that you don't like, click your ulti on it. You want to farm a little bit faster? Ulti. Kill someone? Ulti. It's just such a low cooldown ability and so much damage.
Yeah, he's a big boy for sure. Oh, a nice little bushwhack over here to the side. Won't be able to land the sharpshooter, but they'll use the tombstone. Try to push them back. They want this tower on the side of Evil Geniuses. This will, of course, open up that Rosh possibility. And it just feels like OG are unprepared to take this. In fact, they're gonna just end up letting it fall.
Yeah, Broodmother swings by as well to secure it, and they have the tombstone. So that's a little bit what we were talking about during the draft, that the tombstone as well as the teaching something up, very hard to fight under that area. And for now, I think OG, they need to be really on point with cancelling the Primal Beast when he starts dealing damage to anyone, because he has been finding so many kills right now, and they have good tools to stop him. They have Cold Snap, they have Spear to try and disjoint him, and as well as the Cookie, so they need to try and be ready and perhaps set up some bait for Primal Beast.
Amar's starting to get a little bit more active now here on the map. He was spending a lot of time in that top lane trying to put the pressure on Arteezy, putting pressure on the tower, but haven't seen him really get aggressive yet, which feels unusual for Amar, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's not super unusual, but he's just not having a fantastic laning stage in this game. Getting killed early on there by the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend is a hard lane to go in recovery mode a little bit on his Mars. He wants to get some form of item aggression. Looks like he's gonna go for the Vladimir's first and then back for BKB is the plan. Bit of lifesteal would be very useful for one God's Rebuke on the spiders, you full HP. EG now trying to hold on to as much of the map as possible, so they're using their Hoodwink as well as the Primal Beast around top. They also have a ward, but this way they're controlling their own jungle as well as the bottom jungle. Using the Broodmother spiders right now, sending them out and just scouting the entire jungle. They see where Amar is, and it's very annoying to play against Broods when they start doing this.
Yeah, Nightfall making very good use of the space and choking out the side of OG, so they just don't have the room to farm. It's just a very spooky situation as BZM gets spotted. The Pulverize comes into play. See you later, BZM.
Yeah, gets caught. Quick combination there. Damn.
Nightfall.
Okay, Nightfall just moves in.
Thinking about going back in, potentially. Do get the brambles off. The rest of EG, though, making their way into this triangle area. The onslaught from Abed. Misha just getting chipped away by Nightfall.
And Abed is stealing. He's taking the entire stack here away. Amar wants to stay around, but it's too dangerous in the area.
Another nice bushwhack over onto Taiga. That Shadow Realm is going to wear off and not going to be able to get the Terrorize off either.
11-1. What was I saying about EG looking informed today? This is a fantastic start. Now with the DD rune, they could start just taking Rosh here. I wonder if they're gonna go straight for it. Looks like they do.
I mean, you know that OG doesn't want to let them have this, but I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with like a double damage Arteezy.
They have the meatball and the arena. Look for the Chaos Meteor.
Okay. All right, there it is. There's going to... Oh, a nice spear away. So Fly is going to die immediately. And over on the side, Arteezy trying to get off this ultimate. Will be able to find it, but they'll end up losing BZM during this. Now Misha is just getting chomped away by Nightfall. Crit trying to close the gap. Gets another hit off. Just going to go for the high five. Nice brambles. Will be able to hold him into place, but they'll end up losing Misha.
All the
and the Bedlam
tanking.
also coming in. Again, this is Nightfall. This is a Broodmother. Very tanky. The onslaught tried to come out from Abed, but does end up getting caught in the brambles. There's just so much garbage all over the ground. It's hard for you to see. You have to really clue in here, but a couple nice races over to Yorgi. They need a little bit more, though. We'll be able to find it. The spear back coming out from Amar, but the click Sario coming out from Arteezy as they will clean it all up.
Man, what happened? How is EG this strong? They're absolutely just handling OG in this beautiful performance. They're vision in a good way. They're using the spiders to scout the high ground during the fight. Nightfall doing a great job with how he chased there. And this is just looking so beautiful. All of EG are like taking this lineup that looked initially like a little bit wonky, how you're going to make them work together, and just making it work. And we see a replay, of course. SF going really low to Snapfire ulti, but manages to stay alive. And on the front line, they just turn it around. Nothing can kill Broodmother in this fight. I don't really know how they decide to take that fight without Troll joining, though. Back in the game again. Oh no, maybe Bramble?
I'm not feeling like this is feeling too... Yeah, they go. They mark Taiga.
He's fine.
The chase is on the
Stop
scurry.
looking, camera. Move away. He lived. He lived. He's okay.
Maybe in a different universe.
Top, we see Uragi with that Battle Fury on his Troll. Gets a lot of spider kills. Maybe they can catch Brood. They need something.
Need something, but the follow-up here now from Arteezy. These clicks, they hurt. Uragi popping the ultimate. Gonna try to put off enough damage over onto Arteezy. Not gonna be able to get off the ultimate, so the Snapfire Kiss is doing work, but now it's looking very scary because that ultimate wears off and there's too much damage on Nightfalls. Now Misha left behind, the spiders munching away, the hits coming out from Arteezy, and there's the connection over onto BZM. They'd like to finish strong. They want this. They got the Hunter's Mark. They're trying to get the Terrorize off. Amar, though, finding it, will be able to go get the kill, clean up over onto Fly, who's dove a little bit too deep. They still have their attention over here on the Shadow Fiend. They'll go and they'll use the arena. They've got Bedlam, so that's more than enough damage, but in comes Abed with the BKB, with the stomps, cleans up Taiga, chases after Amar. These fights are just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, this is looking ridiculous. Right now, EG, they have two things that cannot be stopped. It's the Primal Beast is just so survivable and so tanky behind this BKB, and the Brood having a free reign over this game. Nightfall is putting on an absolute performance here on his Broodmother. Hasn't died a single time. Has the Wraith Pact as well as the Hood now, so I'm not even sure how you're supposed to burst him. And OG very much on the back foot now.
Alright. Oh, my goodness. They found themselves Yuragi again, but they are seeing the TPs immediately come down. It's gonna get cancelled, but it's enough to spook them.
Yeah, and they have so much damage between just the two of them. Between Primal Beast and Hoodwink, they can burst anyone really quick.
Yeah, and that was one thing that I did mention during the draft. When we weren't sure where this Primal Beast was going, it did seem like a Hoodwink and a Primal Beast together with the lockdown and the slows could be very devastating. And even though they didn't line together, we are seeing how potent that combo can be. But Nightfall really kind of stealing the show, honestly, this game.
Yeah, he's absolutely huge, and now has the full pipe as well. So he's going in, scouting. He already sent spiders to scout first, so he saw that they were here, going in now.
Managed to clean up over all the spider babies, but Nightfall does not care. This is gonna make some more.
Yeah, truly a horrible mother, actually, the brood mother. How many must suffer?
Look, okay, this is one of those situations where, you know, nature, you have to have a lot of babies because you know that a lot of them aren't gonna make it to the ripe old age that you'd like them to. Oh boy, oh, Yuragi, here comes Abed. Picks him up with the pulverize. They need to put enough damage off so that way he cannot get the ultimate off, and Knight will be able to find it. Sharpshooter coming into play though now. Curse Crown also going to get used over onto Abed. He uses the BKB as Misha makes his rotation. Does just buy that Blink Dagger. He's going to stomp away from the Brambles. Arteezy though with a nice ultimate. The fear coming into play. Clicks over onto BZM. Gets the kill. Trample runs in. Abed, he wants his kill on Taiga. Man, EG is just running away with this game right now. Look at this, Misha trying to get into his own base. And he is not even safe there.
Yeah, he got a nice Quelling Blade cut on the tree there, so he didn't get caught, but it didn't matter. He dies so fast. Even the courier dies on top as Broodmother gets the courier kill and then gets a tower as well. Bottom tower is starting to fall. There's too much happening going the way of EG. Mention all of it at once, it feels like. OG are just completely crumbling. Now a 15,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. We have a replay here of how they initially went on the troll, used their high damage that we mentioned to just burst him immediately, and then it feels like OG want to get anything done for themselves, so they chase after this BKB cooldown, but on the high ground, look at Arteezy's positioning, hides behind the tree, gets the ulti out. Beautiful.
They clean up on those spiders. Get a nice bushwhack off over onto Amar and the... Oh, that was so close! 50 hit points! The boomerang and the sharpshooter almost finishing off Amar. This little squirrel does some massive amounts of damage to try to cut down the tombstone, but Misha will end up falling for his efforts. Tombstone is down though. It just feels like EG, they have so much momentum. I don't understand how they're going to be able to shove them out of the base. They've got the Wraith Pack already deployed. Nightfall just climbing right back in again. Trying to make more babies.
It doesn't feel like they have a timing that's close enough right now. Oh, they're blinking. That was scary if managed to get the grab there from Primal Beast.
Again, another bushwhack getting thrown out, but Curse Crown connecting over onto two on the side of Evil Geniuses. They don't have their troll yet.
No, Troll is not really that close to online. He's still farming, trying to get any form of net worth, but they're so far behind. The BKB is quite a while away from Mars. He went for that Lads first. Takes a while to complete BKB next. Get out of our base,
Snapfire, but they'll jump in onto the back lines. They'll pick up BZM. They've already used the BKB. There's nothing that's going to be able to stop Abed. He will crush BZM.
Such a quick takedown. I like the combination between Sharpshooter and Primal Beast. It's both really low cooldown ultimates, and they keep using them in tandem just to get these kills.
This is looking like a Gaimin's top hat shellacking right now, Waga.
Yeah, I mean, I look over to the carry and he's just farming jungle and there's nothing.
There's just, they can't do anything. Yeah, they're just running after them one by one. These supports just crumbling up and literally stomping all over them.
Yeah, this is completely EG's territory. They're gonna take all the racks in one fell swoop here. Well, not the top. There's a tier 2 tower still, but oh my god, they're finding another one.
Rises up again. That's a cool spell. There's the fear coming out from Arteezy. That's a cleanup on Amar, down for 42 seconds right now, and it just feels like they don't know what to do. They don't know how to force them out of this base. Perhaps they overextend a little bit. Crit getting into position. Not quite enough to finish off your Roggy. He's getting pretty close, but he does manage to get back into that base.
Yeah, nice try with
the fountain.
Quick scope
The
there
balloons
by
are getting
Crits.
dropped now. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, oh, that looks terrifying.
Yes, it does, right over that sticker.
What is going
Not sure
on
if
with
that's
his
working the
face?
way
His
that's
eye is
intended.
poking out at me.
All right, well, Evil Geniuses, they've taken 2 lanes here. Looks like they're going to back off for the time being. They're happy with what they got. Amar is going to be back up in about a second. It feels like Abed's like, like he keeps turning back around like, maybe we could go back in. But Nightfall is putting his attention. Oh, okay, all right, the onslaught right down to the bottom. They find Yuragi, and he's just dead immediately.
All these 100-0
How
bursts.
do you stop this big stompy boy? Yeah, Amar teleporting out right now. Not going to be able to make it. The Sunstrike coming in. Just managed to get the kill on Crypt, but Amar will end up dying. They're just chewing through the heroes on the side of OG. They call GG. Evil Geniuses. I do not know what it is that they ate for breakfast today, but they are just unstoppable.
I love that game 1, we had this really close game. It started out slow, and then we had some crazy team fights going on and a lot of back and forth. And then game 2 is completely one, not even close. This is not the first time we saw that today, actually. It's been a bit of a trend in the group stage. But okay, EG, they secure themselves. They are the top dogs here in their group. They are now 3-2-0, so they're